All right. Well, welcome to tonight's show. We have Kit Kat, obviously.
Hello.
And we got the one and only Jon Dawson.
Howdy.
Tonight we are missing Ant because his papa flew into town to visit him. So he asked to be relieved of tonight's duty so he can spend some time with his daddy. So Jon Dawson said that would be okay, gave us his blessing and said that would be all right. He didn't really want Ant anyways, is what he said, I think.
He said it was a bad look. Bad look.
Yeah. I didn't want to share the screen with the man, so it was much better not having him on here. I feel a lot more accomplished. No, I'm just kidding, Ant. I wish you were here, bro.
Yes.
We do. We love you. We miss you.
He doesn't rewatch these anyway, so we can say whatever we want.
He'll have no clue.
He'll have no clue what we're saying.
What an asshole.
Doesn't even watch. Yes, does not have an hour out of his day to watch.
Man.
So Dawson, what have you been up to, man?
Well, a little bit of everything. Just working, creating content, and just trying to put the message out there more so than I've ever done it before, because I feel like it's needed more so than ever before. So I've really just been buckling down on content and pushing the message, meeting people. Just saw you last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, week and a half ago. Yeah,
that's kind of what I've been doing, is just kind of getting out there more, making a difference, because a lot of us talk about it and very few people actually do something. So I'm trying to do something. Yeah,
I can tell, like, on your content, you've even started kind of going at conservatives a little bit.
Yeah, man. I my biggest thing is we all need to be truth seekers, and I don't really give a damn what your title is. You know what I mean? Like, I really could care less where you came from, what side you came on, what flag you fly. I'm looking for people who are chasing truth, not chasing something that sounds good, sounds patriotic, sounds American. I want truth, because I think at the end, that's what we want to raise our kids to be. That's what we want to raise our country to be, is something that fights for truth more than just like a side or something that sounds cool and radical. And I see, unfortunately, not a lot, but a few conservatives that have gone more towards trying to stay radical than trying to stay truthful. And I just been trying to, be humble about it, but also just call it how I see it.
Well, that does bring me a question, and not to bring up too much drama, but you were kind of thrown into the mix of it with when you talk about radicalization of people. What was your take on the Bryson Gray?
I knew. We're live for 3 minutes deep.
Let's just go right in.
It's what he does. What he does.
Oh, man. Yeah. So Bryson Gray is a lunatic. I'm just gonna say that. I didn't talk any trash on him until I personally brought him on the screen with me, and I had a conversation with him. I don't talk bad about somebody until I hear it from the horse's mouth itself. So
that was a really amazing episode to watch. Like, as someone who watched it, it was really good. It was a really good. It was.
Thank you.
And you handled yourself
very well.
Thank you. Yeah, towards the end, like, I mean, I want to give people the ability to explain themselves uncut, right? And I did that. I'm like, hey, what is it? I let him talk. And he was basically, I mean, and he made some good points, and I understood where he came from his religious standpoint. Marriage is sacred under his religion. And I'm like, that's totally fine. So you don't want homosexuals to have marriage as a title because you hold that sacred in your religion. Totally fine. Totally get it. But then we got deeper into the whole Trump thing. And I'm like, well, your whole platform, the reason anybody knows your name is because you are Mr. MAGA, right? That's it.
Yes.
And then he was basically saying Trump's anti-gay. And I'm like, so you campaigned for a guy that his whole presidency was a lie because he hated homosexuals. And he started rewriting all of Trump's arguments, basically saying, no, Trump was just lying to steal votes. And I'm like, so you're calling Trump a liar. And that's kind of where we went off. And he wouldn't answer any questions that I wanted him to answer. All he wanted to do was talk over somebody, start laughing. And then he said, I think it's funny when people are fighting. I think it's funny when people are at each other's necks. He started making light and making fun of the fact that people are trying to get down to the truth. And that's where I said on live stream, I have no respect for you. I don't have respect for somebody that finds amusement in division, in manipulation, in disrespect. And that's what he was there for. He was there to manipulate, disrespect, and try to gain as much traction as he could.
Absolutely.
So I have no respect for him, and that's kind of how it went down. And I still have Topher was on there. I still have mad respect for Topher. Craig Long, still appreciate Craig Long. Because in the end, I do think that they're still fighting for truth and a path forward. So yeah, it was interesting, man. I think people are really, they get that dopamine hit of being radical, and they don't know when to stop. Right? Yeah. They don't know when to just speak their piece and be like, "That's what I truly believe. I'm not going to push that on you just to make it sound to make you seem crazy."
Yeah. Because I did a dual live with him on TikTok.
You were in the middle of that beef too. I forgot.
Yeah, I was kind of the one that.
Yeah, and then they took that one stupid video that I. You
guys are the instigator. I told you. I wasn't. You too. Oh man. Both y'all's the reason I even got into that.
Always Texas fault.
Oh my god.
Always Texas fault.
Well, he called me out and he's like, "Let's debate." Okay, cool.
So all I did was make a stupid news video, though. It was just a joke. Like, oh, look, 2 TikTok creators are going at it. I'm going to pretend to be a news reporter. And then they flipped out on text, and then I had made those before. Well, so they took a post. It was stupid.
And so
the whole thing was stupid.
You know, the thing that I was just trying to explain to him, which he never would understand, is like, you have your religious, which I totally understand, like you do, John. But we're talking Constitution.
Yeah.
Right.
They're not the same.
No, and the whole thing, just to debunk the whole thing, this man on the live decided that it would be smart to jump on an idea that women should have no right to vote after they get married, while simultaneously complaining that marriage has lost its sanctity and people aren't getting married anymore. And I'm like, oh yeah, and taking women's right to vote after they get married is really going to encourage them to get married more. Like, this dude's logic is absolutely empty. Like, I mean, there's nothing there. And at that point in time is when I was like, okay, well, I'm going to get this guy to answer some questions. And then he never answered a question. Yeah, and then that's when I realized it was purely just talk loud, talk fast, be a rapper and try to get clout and laugh. Yeah. And I'm like,
okay. You didn't hop on your live to make you cry and then leave like he did.
I would never shed a single tear.
I was just trying to go live with another person, and he kind of bombarded my Instagram live.
Oh, that's right.
And my dumbass let him in. So I mean, like, I was asking for it because I don't do that. I don't debate with people. There are people who are very talented when it comes to it and very well spoken and are able to handle their emotions well. And that's a really good personality trait that unfortunately I don't possess. And I can admit that. It's also a
good personality trait to be able to show your emotions on your sleeve. People find that honesty refreshing. And
right.
He's not, I mean, he's there he's going to poke daggers wherever he can poke them. So, it's no respect.
So what's been your hot topic button?
I was legit just going to be like, are there any like super hot topics that you've been like interested in?
For me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like what's really pissing you off right now? Like if you could pick one thing that you're just hot about.
Man, it's kind of broad, and the only reason it comes to me this quick is because I kind of made a video about it today. What gets me right now is, and it's kind of downerish. I don't mean to be like a downer, but is that when it comes to liberals, you could murder and anything bad, like really bad, as long as it's done by someone on the liberal side. Liberals are totally fine with it. And I have just been like, my skin has been crawling recently because of the Biden bombing of the 10 civilians. No one cares, right? No one cares. The 13 fallen soldiers, no one cares. Like if something happens like that anybody else would just be mind blown about, the left, as long as it's done by someone on the left, just doesn't care. And I've been trying to make content, but I'm like, why does it matter? Because if I said Biden murdered 10 children and they were like, well, he had a reason because of, whatever, they're fine with it. Like they just literally gloss over the fact that he killed people. And the same thing goes for, when Trump, bombed an ISIS leader. The left would, I mean, AOC was on her soapbox being like, it's inhumane, he's all this different stuff. And then Biden does something 10 times worse, literally, because he killed 10 innocent people. And the left is, it just, that's what's been on me, is the fact that I don't know how to talk to the left anymore. Because, I mean, if you can't even convince them that Biden's murder is bad, then what the hell are we going to convince him of?
I know.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And, you know, being completely transparent and honest about all this, it's the same way on our side.
It is.
We turn our eyes when it's on our side and won't bat an eye and won't throw up in arms. I mean, and that's the sad reality of it, is that I have zero issues calling out both sides. Always have, always will, because when I see hypocrisy, I'll see it, and I can call out my own hypocrisy and my own self. But you know, just some people just can't. I mean, you know, I get that when I go after Hot Wheels and all his flounders, and then now today he's going to make he's mandating that the Texas National Guard will have to get the vaccine by October.
So I heard rumors of something about dishonorable discharge. Did that get back on the table?
Yeah,
that's back on the table.
This is my point, though. We've never, the right has never, and you guys know I'm the guy that always keeps saying keep that same energy, right? I call out, like you said at the beginning, I call out the right, I call out the left. I really could give a damn what your title is, but when it comes to stuff like this is extreme, right? Like, I get you can have difference of opinions on minor details involving a larger topic. I get that. I get that I can be blind to things that I just personally like more than other people do.
Yeah.
But stuff like this, where you're dishonorably discharging someone because they won't get a vaccine, that's not something that's just like, oh, you have to wear that title. You're not allowed to do that. That's like the military's version of a felon, right?
And people don't understand. People don't wrap their brains around this. You know, like, we have a friend who has been in for 18 years. She's 2 years away from being done. This human being went to war for you twice, like, and has had health issues that, like, maybe she shouldn't be getting this thing due to that. And now what? She's got to choose between being able to retire or being booted out. How the hell does that work? On top of having to watch the exit that they had to watch. I can't.
I can't either. Like, that's the thing. Like, I like to, like, I'm a logical dude, and usually I can explain anything. I'm like, well, this is what they're thinking. I can't explain this. Same thing with the whole with the medical professionals and the hospital staff, where they're letting these people, they're firing them without the chance of getting unemployment. So they're putting them on the street. They're kicking them to the curb. These are the same people that, you know, New York just held a parade for not 2 months ago. These are the people that were on the front line of COVID. And that we were on the cover of Time magazine, that we were all celebrating because they were saving lives unvaccinated on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic. We're now firing them, giving them no unemployment, and we're putting them at the street corner, while we are saying that we need people to get vaccinated so we don't have overpopulated overrun hospitals. But now we're entering into the cold season where we have a Delta variant going around and we're short staffed. So, like, Biden just created the problem he was trying to avoid by doing this.
Yep.
Where's the sense? Like, I've squinted and look at this thing upside down and backwards, and I'm just like,
this time.
I'm pulling my hair out, and I have a lot. I got a long ways to go.
Well, speaking
and then you
of
got
that,
Nancy Pelosi. Was it today that she said that about the Obama plan?
Oh, she's crazy. She
never even went back. She never even fixed it.
She didn't remember she said it after she said it. She's schmammered. The girl's gone. That's a gone girl right there.
This can't gone girl.
Well, speaking of the vaccine, what about with BLM coming out? What's your take on that?
BLM sucks.
Well, I mean,
but what's your take on finding common ground on a subject?
I wish conservative Ant was here, because I already know what he thinks.
Yeah,
I personally have no problem with it, to be honest. I take that back. I do have a problem with it because I'm sick and tired of everybody making everything racist, right? Whether it's my agenda or not. I am sick and tired of everything being thrown around race. So I don't agree with it. I think it's interesting that that they're even making it about race. But
Yeah.
no, I personally, like, if you want to get on the bandwagon, again, I don't care. Same thing I said about BLM in the first place. I can't get behind the fact that everything is racist. No, getting vaccine mandates is not racist. It's just communist. Like, I don't taking freedoms away from all people.
It's probably the most equal thing that we've ever done.
True.
I mean, other than class, it's become a class thing, but it's still across the board. And one of my fears with the whole BLM thing is it's not that I don't mind them fighting, for rights, obviously, and against the vaccine mandate. But my worry is that they're going to say, oh, okay, because BLM protested, blacks don't have to get the vaccines now. But
do you really think that they would?
Ones they're trying to get.
It would happen.
That's what if you really boil down, that's what they're wanting.
Now that's some black
privilege. They're not fighting for equality like they claim. They're fighting. What'd you say?
That's some black privilege I would totally be down with. And 100, I would be on the
black faces.
BLM, yes, no vaccines for my folks. Look at my people. I would flip flop so fast. I was like, "Where are my people at?"
Your people.
Yeah, we going to cookouts.
So fast.
I'm moving to New York, living free.
Well, isn't it? New York is the one though that's getting ready to do the mass exodus, aren't they?
Yeah, New
York with their healthcare staff, and then they're gonna restaff them with military.
Yeah,
their governor said that they're gonna staff them with military and foreign workers.
Did you? Yeah. Let's hire some American citizens, bring some foreigners in here, and let's put our people on
the foreigners don't have to be vaccinated.
No, you're lying, dude.
You're lying. There's no way.
Stop spewing propaganda.
That's misinformation.
Yeah, gotta.
There's no way that's
we're gonna
actually
put a pin in that one.
You're being no.
Yes.
That foreign like
name a foreigner that is invading our country as we speak that has to get vaccinated.
There isn't.
They're not invading.
You're telling me that they can go and work in the medical field here right now?
That's what they're bringing them in for.
We ain't about to have like Haitian doctors in the hospital.
It won't be the Haitians and whatnot, but they did say that they're bringing in foreign workers.
So no. Okay, see, I'm down with the chaos and idiots of the left, but there's no way they are firing American citizens unvaxxed to bring in foreign unvaxxed people to do the same job. There's no way. They're not that crazy.
Tax your lies. Show me. Show your work.
Oh my gosh.
Show your work.
I'll find it.
I will keep talking. Show your work.
No, I know. Keep talking while I find it, so we're not just.
John will go back on his little rant. You start Googling.
Yeah.
I have to see
the necklace.
My brain
can't
wrap
necklace?
around it. I'm sorry.
What's that?
Mine either. The lady with the Vax necklace, the mayor of New York, she was wearing a gold Vax.
The governor.
The governor. I mean.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this is. So I made a video today about Biden's speech where he talked about our patience is wearing thin, and I paired it with Nazi Germany. But what was scary is when I paired it, I'm like, this is like I was doing it to kind of draw a far-fetched yarn to put them together, and then I started like pulling clips and putting them together, and I'm like, oh shit, this is uncomfortable. Yeah. Like, and it was basically the way Biden said it. He's like, our patience is wearing thin. This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. We need to stop letting the unvaccinated spread their propaganda, blah, 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 blah. And then I was playing that guy from Nazi Germany, and he was saying the same thing about the Jews. We need to stop the Jews from spreading the false propaganda. We need to, get rid of them because basically saying there's a pandemic of Jews. And then he said, our patience or we're running out of patience, or our patience only runs so long, or something like that. And I'm like, oh my, this was the head of the propaganda for Nazi Germany. And this dude is literally, Biden is taking things out of his book verbatim. I was horrified.
We're right there. We're step by step. I mean, I remember when I would see TikToks a few months ago that were like, oh, well, in, Nazi Germany, guys, stop it. Like, we're not there. Like, stop. It's not there. Stop. But now, I mean, he doubled down when he came out the other day and got his big boy booster shot on live TV and doubled down with, this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. And he was asked how, what percentage of the U.S. population would you like to see vaccinated before we go back to, normal?
Freedom.
97 to 99% comes out of this guy's mouth.
unreal.
Can you imagine
Like-
if Trump had been on national TV and said, "I'm losing my patience"?
Oh, dude, you thought he was called a dictator a lot before.
It's everything that they called him, they have now.
And they
that's
don't even
they're
see
okay
it.
with it.
and they don't
They're
even.
okay
And
with it.
that's my point. Like, how do you explain this to somebody when you're like, you called a man that gave everyone their freedom of choice a dictator, and now you're clapping up a man that's taking away people's choice and saying that he's preserving our democracy. And I'm just sitting here being like, you can't make this shit up.
No,
Like,
I mean, they told, even if you read like that Time magazine article where they break down how they saved democracy, unless you were an idiot, you realize that 90% of what they admitted to in this article is unconstitutional, illegal, like
the exact opposite of democracy.
And
like,
you're praising
we had to steal the election to preserve democracy. Like, wait a minute. Did you?
I'm convinced that our generation is the last one that wasn't fully indoctrinated by the internet.
We
remember life before the internet. We had independent thought before the internet. Most of these people, our generation down, don't at all whatsoever.
They're fine with it. They're used to it. That's crazy.
Did you find it, Tux, where it's telling me that an immigrant can come and be a nurse here and not be vaccinated?
Well, they're not saying they're not saying about it being vaccinated, but they're saying by country it's going to be the Philippines and Ireland. Which, if you go by
what?
Random.
So we're bringing in.
If you go by Philippines, only 18% of the population in the Philippines has been vaccinated. So
so they're not
from that 18%.
Why would?
And that's not.
I have no words.
Yeah, that's what.
Do you ever wonder sometimes though if you're like, wait, are we already there and we just don't even realize it?
Yeah, hiring Filipino nurses to replace vaccination, and then down here it says Ireland too. And they're one of the least vaccinated countries. Why would you pick from there?
I want to know if they have to be vaccinated once they get here. Because there's no way.
Well,
there's no way.
That's a 2 to 3 week process in and of itself to be fully vaccinated, because you got to wait 2 weeks for the from dose 1 to dose 2.
You're right.
It's a 2-day waiting period after that. So there's 3 weeks right there. And they're choosing the least vaccinated country in the world, or one of them.
Do you know that the EMS?
Just go to Israel. They're 95% vaccinated.
Yeah. The EMS speaker or whatever today on Facebook for U of M Hospital here in Michigan. It's like our biggest hospital. We do like sports medicine. I mean, it's big. She had said that if things continue to go the way that they go from the EMS department, that you would probably have to start waiting upwards of an hour after calling 911 if someone's able to get to you at all, if it keeps going the way that it's going.
So we do have a troll in here that the Opus says if your kids go to school, the law requires they be vaccinated. You're wrong.
Not yet, it doesn't.
No, in Texas, it's fully opt-out. None of my kids are vaccinated, period, from any vaccine.
And Michigan has, Michigan's an exempt state, and lots of other states
you're wrong, Opus.
There's my daughters go to a private school. One of them goes to a private school, and they do require like base vaccines. But they obviously don't require COVID, but they require your base vaccines, which we didn't give to her till she was I think 3 or something, like fully developed for the most part. After whatever. But
we did.
Public school. I don't think you need anything.
No, you do. Like, you're required, but then you can exempt yourself out of them.
Yeah, there's exemptions for them.
So
I mean that's public school. So like
the mask mandates in school aren't even sticking. Like, how do you think a vaccine mandate's gonna stick? It's not going to.
Well, I mean, you got companies that are big companies. I mean, like Toyota, and there's a couple more that are just like, we're gonna look over it a little bit. Like, they're not requiring it. They're like, we're gonna look into it first. Like, people are just not like. I mean, there's so many companies out there that are just like, we're gonna study it. We're gonna look into it. We might think about it, because in the end, it's not constitutional. Technically, if they were to put up a legal fight, it wouldn't be very difficult to eliminate that, or eliminate yourself from having to get or having to mandate vaccines. It's one of these things where when you look around, you've got to just wonder, like, what is this administration? This is
I think we know. I just think no one wants to say it out loud, like
because you sound crazy.
You feel like a little bit. You feel a little bit crazy, but
you do.
I feel like it's getting to the point now where like there's no coming back unless it goes another way. Like, I mean,
well, I guess
I'm really worried that unfortunately it's gonna get horrific before it's fixed. I do. Well, I worry that that's where we're at with it.
But that is if Trump comes back and saves us all.
Oh my God! Shut up.
Because, dude, kick him out. We got another troll sitting up at the top corner of the screen.
Like, even like the weird alien conspiracy girl is like, bro, shut up. You sound fucking nuts.
You like, sound pretty pathetic. I'm not gonna lie. Well, when you really do break it down, though, when you really break it down, you got our borders being blown wide open. You have the White House that was supposedly going to be on lockdown just because of all of us crazies on January 6th, but is still now a fortress with fences like 10 feet high all around the White House. The White House looks like Guantanamo Bay still.
And they've added on to it because of the anniversary. They were very.
So they're protecting themselves from the people. The White House is now bunkered down, protecting themselves from the people. You have borders wide open. You have mandating of vaccines. You have trying to mandate masks, telling people that unvaccinated people are lesser than vaxxed. We need to solve the problem of not the COVID pandemic, but the pandemic of the unvaccinated. This is literally, I don't care what side you're on. I mean, well, obviously some people can't see it, but you've got to see this direction that we're going, where it's like there are upper echelon people, right? The government, then there's the people that listen to the government, which are the vaxxed people, which, you know, have a little bit of priority. And then there's the peasants, the unvaxxed. And we're going straight to Prince and the Pauper. And for anybody who doesn't know what that is, that means there's a divide. There's the very rich who control the people that pay attention and the people that are willing to listen. And then there's the paupers who are the people who kind of are just there because the government can't just kill them off, but they get nothing. They don't get treated the same. They don't get the freedoms of the other people. You're just screwed. And that's where we're at right now. And it's like horrifying because you don't want to say it, but you're like, damn. Like, it's there. It's right here.
Well, it has become more of a...
Well, and I mean, I feel like if I say it out loud, too, like you're scared to say it on social media out loud because then you're labeled like this extremist. And it's like, I'm not saying I want it. I'm not even saying that I would start it. But what I'm saying is it's coming. Yeah. Because people are only going to be pushed so far. I mean, you have people going... they're taking everything from you, every single thing. They're after your children now.
I think people might let it go. I mean, when you think about it,
oh,
I mean,
God,
when does the line? But how long? How many years have people been talking about it? We're going to uprise against a tyrannical government, know. Right? And then you talk about it. And the thing which is ideal about this vax, what's John drinking? I'm drinking some Angel's Envy. But you think about the vax is. People are being pressured. So it's so easy to let go of your freedom that and they're making it so inconvenient to hold on to it that just getting a little vax is easier than dealing with how inconvenient they're making your life. Right. So next thing you know, all these people that were like, I would never put my gun down. I'll never give up my freedoms are now the ones saying, I mean, I guess I could just get the vax because I don't want to lose my job or I want to be able to travel. And it's like, just like that, they took something real small. And as soon as they tip that over, just with that vax, just with that little bit of freedom, then you're done. Doesn't matter what you said 10 years ago saying I would never let him take my freedom. You just did because it was inconvenient to be unvaxxed. And you decided that it was
I mean, they already know that they control 77% of the U.S. population. They know that for a fact. Yep. Joe Biden wants to make sure that 3% isn't left. That infamous 3%. Like, they have to be scared, though, to be putting up walls like that. You know, or like you have governors like my governor that was so psychotic through the whole pandemic and now is like, oh, yeah, no, I'm going to sign a bill. We're not going to mass mandate the kids. We're not going to require vaccine passports. It's like they have to know. They have to know that people aren't going to do this. And to me, when you build gates, you're scared. But then it's kind of like, are we going to do something about it or are we not? Because we're kind of at that point now.
Are they scared, though, or are they trying to make the optics seem like we're something to be scared of? because I feel like what they've done also is made people who don't agree with us or people who might be on the fence. I mean, all three of us are pretty crazy, right? And we're sitting here not wanting to say things because we don't want to sound crazy because they've made it seem so damn crazy.
Yeah.
So like, in all honesty, the best thing that the liberals know how to do is optics. They're making it to seem so damn crazy that even us crazies don't want to say it.
I know.
They made it sound so crazy. So we're screwed.
And it's logical.
Well played.
Everything right. Well played, liberals. Well played.
I mean, they if you look at last year, look how many of like the 3% and even conservatives obeyed mandates.
Yeah.
Like
I did it first. At the very beginning, I was like, yo. But then about 2 weeks in, I was like, this is some bullshit.
Well, for me, I wasn't like, I couldn't watch the news. I couldn't get other opinions because I was working during it. I was working in long-term care.
Oh, damn.
You know, so it was so crazy where I was that by the time that I got home, I wasn't catching up on trying to form my own thoughts. It was just, we're in a fucking pandemic. Like I was tunnel vision. I mean, like I was taking my clothes off in my driveway and putting them in paper bags so that I didn't get my kids sick. I was scared to hug my kids because I had no clue what the hell was going on. And then I got sent home because of my underlying health conditions. They wouldn't let me work anymore. So then I'm looking around and I'm like, you motherfuckers made me wash my groceries and shit. Like I was
wiping down my milk. I was wiping down the cereal.
I did it too. Wiping down the milk, wiping down the groceries. Like we would take them out in the garage. And now looking back, I'm like,
you think about all the inconsistencies of like, this never made any sense. Like,
even
you know how many things I touched while wiping down my groceries that just transferred everything that I was wiping. Like, this is absolutely ludicrous.
And I work in that field.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, I know that this makes no sense. I've been trained, but like, you're scared. They just keep beating fear in you. And they would have like people from the CDC come in and like talk to us. And we were like, oh my God, it's so bad. And
yeah,
it was.
I mean, in the end, I think, you know, a lot of us were just being cautious, right? We had no idea what it was. I think that was a smart thing to do. It's like, why would you not take it seriously at first? And
I
then,
took it seriously.
What pandemic have we ever taken this serious?
I've never experienced. Well, that's
where
the
we
thing.
shut down.
Bro, they had people thinking they were gonna die. My guy, like we were sitting at home being like, shortness of breath. Oh my God.
This is like for me, like
smelling candles every day, making sure. Nope, I don't got it.
See, I genuinely never took it like serious at all.
I did. I was scared shitless, and I'm woman enough to admit it.
I'm not on anybody that did take it serious, but I didn't take it serious from the get because it never made sense to me because we've never had this response to any pandemic period. And to me, at the end of the day, it's a virus that now we're going to have to deal with for the rest of our life. It's not going anywhere. And then beyond that, it's like I have probably a greater chance of dying in my car leaving to go get my groceries in a car accident than I do having to wipe my groceries down to not catch COVID.
I think we need to stop saying things like probably. Like, oh, I probably have it. Because you do.
Right.
Like people forget what the recovery rate of this thing is.
I think in general, like when any type of disease comes out and they're saying there are people dying, everyone knows there's that chance that you have that adverse effect to it, right? And you're like, like for me, I never thought it was as serious as they made it, but I knew it was a virus. Like I knew it wasn't the boogeyman, right? I knew they weren't just throwing something around that didn't exist.
Kat, should we tell them?
I think we should tell him. So Mr. Dawson will not be here, but there will be a slew of TikTok creators in Whitmer country at the end of October for a political event that I'm speaking at up in Lapeer, and Tex will also be speaking at, and Right Side Batty will also be speaking at.
So yeah, we will be in Whitmer.
We will. They're coming to Whitmer town.
But for me, like the flu kills a lot of people. Like we have standard viruses that kill people on a daily basis, and we still never have this kind of issues with it. And so for me, it was just like, you know what? If I get it, I get it. Like, I don't think there's anything that we can do to prevent anybody getting a virus.
No.
And it's been proven.
But preventing their immunity is an issue, or preventing their own God-given system to work properly. That's what people were
that I agree
having
with.
done to them, is being shut off and being put in this sterile environment. And then we're shocked when people open up for a week and you're like, oh snap, I'm getting sick from everything. It's like, yeah, no kidding. You just lived in a sterile environment for the last 4 weeks.
Well, and now can we get rid of the term super spreader now? Because every college football stadium is packed to the jam. And I think the CDC said that they're not considered super spreader events now. They pose no risk, and they have 0 masks on.
No, sweetie, it's only a super spreader event if it's conservative base. Only then.
Facts. Remember the BLM protest? Nothing, and then like conservatives protested masks, and they're like super spreader. I'm like, there's like half the amount of people that were at the BLM protest last night. Like, like you're making it too obvious, guys. Like, keep the same.
But
energy.
It wasn't to some people. Like, how is this not so obvious? Number one, and number two, like, how the hell do you come back from this with trust for the medical community? How can you trust the medical community going forward? I mean, because you have like doctors on TikTok.
I've never trusted the medical community.
No one has. No one's ever trusted Big Pharma until they
some sort of. They're there to help you.
Going to the doctor, like legitimately.
No, I don't trust doctors. That's what my dad had cancer, and as soon as he started going to the doctor, it got worse. I know why, but that's been my question since long before this. Why do people have something that they've had for like 10 years, and they go to the doctor? Doctors, you didn't know this for 10 years. You had cancer, and they die the next year. I'm like, if you didn't go to the doctor, do you think you would have lived another 10 years with that same disease? Like, yeah. I've never trusted them, because it's like they always put you on some stuff, and then you die when you've already been living with the disease for 10 years, and it happens a lot. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense.
Well, and they just pump you full of medication to get money. I mean, that's what it really is. Over testing, over medicating, and then medicating enough to damage. They do it to me. They will over medicate me enough to damage one organ and then be like, oh, okay, now we'll give you what you needed. Yeah, but if you would have just given me that 6 months ago, that now I got to be on this pill for what? Forever? Oh, okay, cool. And then that pill does this problem and this does it. They want returning customers. And the thing is that they'll always have them because people are always going to get sick. But now they're greedy. And COVID made them hella greedy because of how much money we're giving them for COVID.
My brother was in the military and the medical side of things, and he served here stateside, and then he was in Germany for a long time too. And then, did a couple tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. But he said that, he always said, like, the American way of doing things is all about comfort. They want to make you comfortable. They don't care to cure you. They just want to make you comfortable. Mm-hmm. And overseas, they might just if they know they can't treat you, they're just going to let you go. Like no pain medicine, no nothing. And they'll just send you on your way, but they do try to find the cure for it. And he just said, here in America, because we're too worried about comfort, making sure your pain's gone, making sure you feel okay, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, it comes down to money.
Oh yeah, I mean
we're all about treatment. I mean, it's treatment. And that's the same. I mean, the biggest dollar signs to Big Pharma is unhealthy people, which is why I don't know why anybody would trust a company that makes its billions off of unhealthy people. Like, I mean, come on, like it's that simple. Like I'm talking about. I don't
you say it like that.
It's billions of dollars. That's. I mean,
and who writes the textbooks for these doctors? Big Pharma.
Big Pharma. like I'm watching this show. If anybody hasn't watched the show, it's called Goliath. They just dropped the last season of it. And the last season of it is about Big Pharma. And they talk about the FDA.
Where are you streaming it from?
Amazon, Mr. Bezos.
Mr. Bezos.
What they talk about is how Big Pharma has FDA in their pocket, where it's like the thing that, let me just explain, everybody that's super excited about FDA approval for the vaccine. FDA doesn't do a damn thing. FDA takes the studies that the companies that are pushing the medical, whatever it is, vaccine pill, they take the studies that these companies do, they look at the data from the studies, and they say, yes, this data looks promising, we're going to approve it. Meaning that the company can manipulate that data however the hell they want before they give it to FDA, and FDA just reads the book and be like, this book's well written. Let's put this vaccine out there. Like,
that's why you get those commercials. If you've been affected by this drug, contact this for a long lawsuit. Oh, those were FDA approvals.
Yes.
All of them.
It's an absolute joke. It's like
Is
putting
it like
a
the
warning
biggest
label on a
lawsuit
$5
in
bucket.
history against them?
Absolutely.
Yeah, against Pfizer.
Mm.
Well, that's what like people don't understand is your board of the FDA is 99% of them are ex-executives for the companies trying to get all the approvals.
They probably sat on the board a couple of years prior.
Yeah. And then they went to the FDA. And so
Not to mention the FDA is allowed to take donations, right? Because they pay their fees to the FDA. So these companies are paying the FDA's salaries. So it's like this is the most like corrupt thing that's not illegal that I have ever witnessed. Like if I did this in my business, oh my god!
Oh, you'd be in prison.
I drop my own permits for my buildings. Sorry.
Over and over again as their argument. Well, it's not FDA approved. Okay, we got to stop that because the FDA ain't shit. Like. So when the FDA approves it, because it's not a matter of if, when the FDA approves it,
yep.
Are y'all going to take it now? Because that's the only argument you guys have been presenting. How about just say you're not taking it, period?
I don't know why people need to give an excuse. I just said I didn't want it.
I don't know why you even have to have a reason. Just, don't want it.
Just like I don't want the flu shot. Like I would rather just get sick.
Right.
I haven't gotten the flu shot in like 7 years.
Son of a bitch. You're killing the world.
I'm gonna sneeze all over you. I don't give a damn.
Well, that's what I said. Kat, what did I tell you? If I get COVID, one, I'll never know if I got it. But two, should I ever like find out I have COVID, guess where I'm going? I'm going to Walmart and I'm going to Lowe's and I'm sneezing all over every motherfucker. Because I'm going to create.
I want to come over for a COVID party.
For everybody in my community. They'll be thanking me.
It's scary how much they haven't talked about natural immunity. Like Fauci talked about it once.
I was gonna say it's in like a little subline from the vaccine where it says, and the rest of the population should develop natural immunity from fighting it off. And then it said, if you don't get vaccinated, you're more than everybody's gonna have Delta. They literally said it's so contagious. Exactly. COVID party. I say we take it back to the chicken pox days and we all get together.
And we just go to Walmart.
We all get COVID.
We spread it all over
just
there.
Go to Walmart. It's such a joke, but like it's not like the furthest fetched thing I've ever heard.
Well, you remember when the toilet paper stuff was going on, right?
Oh yeah.
So I would go to Walmart and there'd be all
it's happening again here.
I'd start sneezing and coughing, and everybody would scatter, and I'd get my toilet paper. And then I'd go up to the front of the line where the long line is, and I'd start doing the same thing, and everybody would clear. And I'd get in and out of Walmart with toilet paper in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you know that I got yelled at by a guy in a full hazmat suit here? He had like the big ones, the things right here.
Wow.
No, I called my husband bawling. They had to call the police because I was in my scrubs. So I stopped in before work, not after, before. Because a lot of our residents started running out of stuff because of COVID. So a lot of us would stop before work, get some snacks for whoever or whatever they were running out of, and then go to work. So I was stopping to get everybody orange juice because we ran out of orange juice at the nursing home during COVID where everybody's diabetic. So that was freaking awesome. But I stopped and this guy was like, you need to leave the store. You're disgusting. I can't believe that you're in here spreading that shit everywhere. And I'm like, you're in here in a full ass hazmat suit. Like,
yeah, bro, you're good. You're good, man.
What are you going to get from me? I mean, just big. And he's like, you fucking, just calling me all.
He probably called you a conspiracy theorist while he's wearing a gas mask in a grocery store.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
These people think I'm crazy. Okay, cool.
Did you? Because the NBA is not requiring their players to get vaccinated, so they can opt out. Yeah. And so an NBA player opted out, and they asked him about it at the press conference. Of course, let's not forget about his job of playing basketball and ask those kind of questions. Let's ask why he's not going to
medical history for sure.
Hey, we're trying to get the black people to feel safe around the vaccine. and that's not a joke. I mean,
he literally said at every talking point that about the vaccine. He's like, look, I've had COVID. I have natural immunity now. I don't see a reason to get it. Plus, there's not enough data in there for me to put it in my body. Mm-hmm. And this is my choice. And it's very eloquent and awesome with the way. I mean, he didn't get hyped up. He stayed really melatonin about it. It was like, or
melatonin.
Really, soft tone.
Monotone.
Yeah, monotone. That was
Monotone.
Melatonin is what you take to help you go to sleep, bro.
Oh yeah.
Did you take a
He was
melatonin?
real monotone about it.
Oh, see, I was thinking melanin, so we were all on the wrong page. I was like, wait, no, that's his skin color, man. I know he was dark, but
Why
damn.
you gotta make everything about skin color, John? Jesus.
Yeah,
Because the
John, why you gotta go
racist.
race?
No, I saw the clip. I thought he said
Is it?
he said it. He said it exactly how I've been saying it. Where it's like, look, man, one, he's had it, so he's got natural immunity. So therefore, the worst has ran its course. So therefore, taking the vaccine only presents more negative side effects because he already has natural immunity. So like, therefore, there's no reason he should risk the very unlikely but possible side effects of the vaccine when he's a young, healthy individual who's already had COVID.
Yeah.
And there was no better way to answer it. And it was like, I love that it was just silent at the end because like there's no like follow up. Like that was it. Like that's a wrap.
How do
I
you
just
dispute
don't know
it?
why we can ask each other that crap now.
Right, but
Like,
you can't
it's
ask a sex
socially
offender.
acceptable to ask people their medical history for no reason.
Yeah.
This isn't medical history though. That's the thing, that they've made the vaccine like it's not even medical. Like it's like an identity trait. Like it's weird. Like it's not like asking someone if they have like, you know, AIDS or STDs or something. Like it's literally like it's like asking somebody if they, you know, are American now. Like if you're unvaxxed, you're like un-American. So like it's such a weird thing.
It's almost like if they would have made us wear something, yeah, to like
a necklace.
Like a necklace, like a gold necklace.
Can I just say, like, I'm so glad that COVID vaccine came from God.
And if you don't get it, you're spitting in God's face.
And according to
God wants you to be vaccinated.
The vaccine is an act of love.
That's what this governor of New York with her gold necklace said.
Wait, what?
She was in a church.
She's crazy.
She was in a church and literally said, "Vaccine came from God."
This bitch. You're gonna come into the Lord's house with your debauchery? Get out of here.
She did.
Man, that's crazy. Wow.
Yeah. I'll preach.
Nothing's sacred when it comes to Democrats trying to get their way, man. They'll go to black people, they'll go to churches, they'll go to morgues and get people to vote.
Joe Biden still walks into a Catholic church.
That man, well, the Catholics are on, the big time Catholics are on his side.
I do understand that too. But what I'm saying
and this is why, like, even if you go on the New York side of things, like everybody was gung ho about getting rid of Cuomo, and this woman could be worse than Cuomo.
I think she might be worse.
And this is my fear of us wanting to get rid of Biden so bad with articles of impeachment is Kamala's going to be way worse.
Well, but the thing is that when the Democrats want them out too, that's when you need to be worried. Like when everybody united around Cuomo, I was like, who's coming though? Because you want that person in
she's
too.
Cuckoo.
What Kamala hasn't even done anything. Like she's been the most absent vice president I've ever experienced.
Well, because she's that way she can run. She's letting Biden take the fall for everything and being silent so that she can say, I knew nothing about it.
Take the fall for what?
For anything that's going on right now, the flunders of the country.
But he's doing such a great job. Everything's a positive thing.
What do you mean? I never hear a Biden supporter say anything of what he's doing good. They're silent.
Because there's so much.
There's so much.
All I hear from Biden supporters is Trump.
Well, that's because all the bad things were Trump's fault, and Biden's trying to take care of it, man.
Trump did so good in his first term and only term that they can't get him out of his mouth.
No, they can't. He's like, they make me not like him anymore. I'm like, will you guys stop fucking talking about him?
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about him anymore.
Me either. I'm like, dude, this isn't even about. This is about y'all being dumb now. This has nothing to do with what Trump did. This is y'all's decisions from like y'all started fresh. Yeah, fucked it up from there. Don't go back there. Like, no, this is all you guys from here on out. And
they spent the whole first 3 months undoing all of it. Like those executive orders had smoke coming off of them. What was that?
Did you see like the promises he made? And like there was like 4 or 5 that he needed to keep in the first 100 days, and like the one that he didn't was like the promise to BLM. I was like, bro, I don't say racist very often, but to answer or to do all the promises you made, except for the one from the major movement that got you elected from the black people, like that's just dirty, man. And it wasn't even that. It wasn't anything special. It was like give them some funding or something, which she could have easily done.
They burnt cities down for y'all, and y'all couldn't even throw them a little bit of hush money afterwards.
Like we ain't even giving you free Waffle House vouchers, like nothing. Like it was bad. I was like, man, you did them dirty. I mean, it's not like we didn't tell them.
My favorite though was I was kind of living for BLM's tweets though. When BLM started tweeting like how many days it had been since the Biden administration, I was here for those. So,
what's your thoughts on Nicki Minaj?
Nicki Minaj.
I cannot believe this is a hot.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous, and it shows the true colors. And I hope people wake up to see how much they persecuted her for purely saying, "Mask up, wear your masks properly. I'm not getting the vaccine until I do a little more research." Like something as common, like that's probably the most common, like the most sense Nicki's ever made. Like I mean, that's the most sense she's ever made. Is hey guys. Stay safe, mask up. I'm just going to do a little more research before I get the vaccine. Have a fun time, y'all. Bye-bye. And they're like, she's crazy. And I'm like, yo, you guys just showed your hand. Like you messed up. Like this girl didn't give you no disinformation. She didn't say nothing crazy about anti-vaccine or conservative, nothing. She just said, I want to look into a little bit more for myself.
And told you to mask up.
And told you to mask up, wear it properly. And she didn't tell nobody else to do nothing. She didn't cast any information on anybody. She said, I'm going to look into a little bit more. Hey, have fun, y'all. And they were like, we reached out to her to have a conversation with the white. I'm like, y'all reached out to someone who said this for the research?
And then she called him out and said
that, though, really?
And then she called him out, didn't she? And say that she.
Oh, yeah. Because they tried to say,
we
didn't invite her. And then
our government reached out to Booty Queen to give her more information about the vaccine, being like, what?
Yes.
Right. Like, think about that for 5 seconds, you guys. The White House is that concerned about celebrities that they're like, hey, come here to my creepy White House, little girl, and let me teach you about your blackness, because that's what Joe Biden's all about.
Well, she ain't black no more than that, because she does research.
Not to Joe Biden, no.
Black people don't do research.
Well, but she did vote for Joe Biden, I'm assuming. And
I would assume so.
That would automatically make her black.
I don't know. Like she was going off on our Instagram, like, and you guys think that all these celebrities think this. 80% of them feel the same way as me. I'm like, oh shit, Nicki's bringing like drama too. Did you see
Rihanna's t-shirt?
Yes,
I did. I was like, where'd she get? I'm
like, that's dope. I
like that shirt. I know. I like that shirt.
I think
that got like ostracized by people on his TikTok for sharing that, and they were like going off on him.
For what?
Because apparently we have to be juggernauts in the head too, and we can't like appreciate something when it happens. They were basically screaming at Ant for siding with Rihanna, and she did this, she did this, she did this. It's like, bro, it was just saying like cool t-shirt.
Yeah, it's a t-shirt.
Like, what did it even say on there? I forget. What did it say? Something about freedom, right?
It said think freely before it's illegal, while it's still legal.
Yeah. Or think for yourself while it's still legal.
Yeah, think for yourself while it's still legal.
Shaq denounced his celebrityness today.
What?
Bro, Shaq's a badass. I love Shaq.
What'd he do?
I do love Shaq. I don't know. That's the first I've heard of it.
I saw him jump in a crowd at a Travis Scott concert. That was cool. Big dude. I wouldn't jump on people if I was that size.
I would not be jumping on people if I was Shaq's
bro, your
size.
calf is the size of my chest, bro.
Yeah, I feel like that's irresponsible.
Like you shouldn't be jumping at all.
Your shoe's bigger than your face.
Seriously, man. Hey, keep your feet on the ground, bro. We ain't playing that game. I'm just trying to get some music, drink a couple drinks. I don't need a black mama flying through the air with freaking chest calf. Oh God. But I think Ben posted something. We were talking on our podcast the other night about Joe Rogan kind of had a little woke up moment. He made that little freedom rant, and he went on his podcast, turned it into a video, posted it on his Instagram, where he was talking about don't let go of your freedoms. Like no government, nobody takes power away and gives it back. They don't. Even if they
No.
say, "Hey, we're going to take some of your freedom, and then we're going to give it back." Not once has that ever happened in history. When they take it, they never give it back.
Oh,
So Joe Rogan made a video about that. Rihanna came out with her little T-shirt thing. Nicki Minaj came out with her little T-shirt thing. There's something moving in the background where, like we've been talking about for over a year now. At some point in time, the best advocate for freedom is the left, is what the left is doing. It's the hypocrisy, it's the inconsistencies, it's the disrespect, the manipulation, the division. At some point, anybody who is not bought, which I think there are more people who aren't bought than we think. I think we think all celebrities are bought, but I think a lot of them are just running in the circles. It's like being in a university. You're surrounded by this rhetoric so much, you don't really know there's something outside of it. But I think a lot of these celebrities are starting to see outside of their little circle because everything is getting so loud. And I think we really are on the verge of some extreme stuff happening. And I don't want to say it's necessarily great. I think it's going to be kind of scary, but I do think we're going to have some interesting people be speaking out like we recently saw with Nicki.
And I also think that, like, when all comes to all, it's going to end better. Like, I still believe in the people. Mm-hmm. I do. I believe in Americans more than anything else. I think that, unfortunately, we've forgotten who we are. And a lot of us have taken longer to remember who we I'm sorry, putting my face on underwear. But Freedom Fam, it does have merch, and merch will be coming out soon. No underwear, unfortunately. But I think that we'll figure it out. But it's gonna be bad.
Underwear for her.
I mean, I might make her just a pair. Yeah, maybe.
Rose McGowan needs to be protected.
She's speaking out a lot with Tucker Carlson, which is just weird to me. Like, that's a duo that I never thought I'd see together. Rose McGowan and Tucker Carlson, like, on Fox Nation.
Yeah.
I don't watch Fox, unfortunately. Well, no, unfortunately. I just have never watched it.
I haven't watched it yet because it's on the Fox Nation app, but apparently she's speaking out a lot because she called the Tucker Carlson show out of nowhere and was like, I need to come on. I have information that I need to tell somebody now. And it was about Britney Spears. So she went on like a rant about Britney Spears for a while.
Britney.
Poor
if anybody
Britney
has their freedom taken away, poor Britney, man. She lost it long before everybody else.
Yeah, we did.
It makes you wonder why the dad is still fighting so hard for it. I just saw an article on that today about the dad is still pushing to not give up his conservatism or conservative.
I thought that the judge voted against it anyways, or ruled against it.
But he came.
I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea what happened. I didn't watch it or hear.
No, like as far like he got to keep it. That's the last that I heard on it, is that the judge ruled against Britney and ruled in the father's behalf. He voluntarily gave it up. Oh. So wait, is Britney free now? Why aren't we celebrating that Britney's free?
Why was she not free? I never saw the thing. I never watched the video. I don't know nothing about this. Why are we even?
Oh, they wouldn't let her leave the house. They forced her on birth control. They were taking like blood from her without her permission. She wasn't allowed to go out with the boyfriend.
What?
Nothing unless she worked. Yeah, she had to sit like in a chair for 10, 11 hours a day, and they wouldn't. Yeah, it was bad.
What?
She was.
Why?
Yeah.
Because
the dad was able to get her diagnosed with like early onset dementia somehow.
But why did he want to do that? What?
Weirdos are weird, John. Like psychos are just psychos. There's no explanation for it.
I need to watch that. What is that on? Is that on Netflix or something?
I don't know. Like, they just, I mean, it's her in court. She's free now and engaged. Nobody's celebrating this. What the hell? Did it happen around the same time as Brian Laundrie? Probably. Stole Britney's shine.
Brian Laundrie. People have been going deep into that, man. I was like, man, people got time on their hands.
You know who's going to find Brian Laundrie is Right Side Band.
Dog the Bounty Hunter.
And Dog.
Hey, he was on the Chad Prather show today.
He was.
I didn't see it, but I heard he was going to be on there.
Yeah.
We got to go back. We can go back and watch his, right? He keeps like his.
Yeah, his is on YouTube too. So you can go back and watch it.
Yeah, like, I don't know, though. But Dog the Bounty Hunter kind of makes it like a joke, though, doesn't it? Like, he brings a lot of celebrity to it and awareness to it, which is good. But I'm kind of like, you better be doing this for the right freaking reasons and find his ass.
I always thought Dog the Bounty Hunter was like a joke. I didn't realize he actually did real cases. I thought it was a joke, to be honest. Like all of them. I thought it was all staged.
I got to meet him in Jackson because he did an episode in Jackson, and one of my friends was working for the bail bondsman that he did it through. So they really are. They are all bail bondsman people.
That's a
really nice
job.
bail bondsman-y people. I mean, it was
job.
a very celebrity meeting.
Let me go work in the sketchiest form of money. Like let's pay for criminals and then get paid for criminals.
And then try to get our money back from criminals.
And then go get your money back from the
this is like you just want to put your money in a problem pot. Like that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Is you want to fight somebody.
Like putting your money in.
Right. That's just somebody who wants to fight people on a regular basis.
I guess
Tox, that's a good job for you.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's a good job for you, Tox.
What?
Bail bondsman.
Oh, I just shoot people.
Okay, maybe not. I'm just saying you're always so angry.
Moving on.
Yeah, see.
Moving on. The FBI has entered.
Don't borrow money from conservative Texans.
So, John, where can people catch you? I mean, obviously they know TikTok, but you also, for those that don't know, you also have a podcast.
TikTok sucks.
TikTok does suck.
I'm really not posting that much content on TikTok. I'm actually probably going to be not removing myself, but just I've been focusing more of my energy on YouTube. I think I've said everything I can say in 60 seconds, and now long form is kind of where I need to be so I can actually walk people through a thought process and not just do these snippets. So you guys can find me on YouTube. Just type in Jon Dawson, Jon Dawson on anywhere on YouTube. You'll see me pop up somewhere with my ridiculous hair. And the podcast, Jon Dawson Perspective. You could just search that anywhere as well, and it'll pop up wherever you listen to podcasts. And that's about it.
And when do you release your podcast?
Our podcasts are every Monday at 8 p.m. Central, and we do not stream them live. We just drop the audio on podcast platform, and then we drop the video a couple weeks after that. So,
Cool.
But if you're on YouTube, you'll be able to see pretty much everything that we put out there.
Cool. Y'all go like his channel up. And give him a subscribe over there and follow his content because Jon Dawson's awesome. I love hanging out with him.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Jon Dawson is awesome.
Hello, ring.
No, anytime we can get an event out here in Texas, he's one of the first ones I contact.
I'm in.
Well, that's the thing though, like, because I remember when I first started TikTok and you were like the account that everybody wanted to follow back. And what I can say is that you give every single person attention, and like you've never let like TikTok fame go to your head, and
yeah,
it's admirable though. It is like you've stayed really on point with your message and staying true to your message, and it's awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you. I never realized I was TikTok
awesome.
famous. It's just I feel like we have these conversations. Everything.
That's a blue check mark, bro. You're famous.
Dude, you're a conservative with a blue check mark. Are you kidding me? That's unheard of.
You're the only one.
That's what I mean. Like, I hate the blue check mark. Like I hate it so much. Like 2 weeks after they gave it to me, I was like, if I could give this back. And people think it's like me trying to be humble. No, it legitimately just puts you up as a target for just BS. And I wish I could go back to prior to having that, when I could really just drop stuff and like kind of go unnoticed. Now I can't leave a comment without being like, damn, people are gonna see this. I used to like talk a little shit, but now I'm like, I'm much love with a blue check mark. They're gonna find it. Damn it.
You can't do it with that blue check mark.
Yeah. Oh, it sucks. But I have a private account I do my trash talking with.
All right, John. Well, we appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
And hopefully we'll be seeing you soon.
Tax, tell them who's on tomorrow night.
Tomorrow we have Melinda, which John met a week and a half ago and she's with the Latino Exit group for the Latinos leaving the Democrat Party. So she founded the New Megxit for New Mexico Latino Exit, and then she's on board with the Legxit group. So she's going to talk to us about like obviously the border and everything going on there, and then their movement of getting the Latinos to leave the Democrat Party.
Super excited,
badass, by the way.
Yeah. So tomorrow's gonna be an exciting day too, and then next week I don't know who we have.
I don't either. I'll have to get with my secretary on that.
Secretary.
I got a girl for that.
Yeah.
So Natalie kept asking me to move over because then my body lines up with Aunt's feet.
Oh.
I didn't even notice that.
Oh wait, no, his hands are down.
Yeah, can you
Like
wiggle
this.
the feet?
I can't.
That's good. That's good.
That's awesome. All right. Well, y'all have a good evening, and thanks again, John. We appreciate
Yes,
you,
sir.
man.
Thank you for having me. Have a good one.
Absolutely.